dance in Tower Bottoms.
And confident bottoms.
Oh my God. Okay. It
Are
might
you-
not sound any different to you listening. So just hear this excitement in my voice.
She's over the moon, y'all.
I'm a straight boner because guess what, Zachary? Guess motherfucking what?
Well, I know.
You guys, we finally got a fucking soundboard. I've literally never been
Literally.
so excited. Wait, we got a soundboard. I am unwell.
Wow, that's good audience. That's good enthusiasm.
It sounded very masculine. It's
Yeah.
like, yeah.
But like, did you want to hear?
No, that's a horror film.
Well, it's also what girls sound like when they get really excited.
Thank you.
I should know. I was at the Taylor Swift concert.
You were. This is a huge deal. Big day for us guys. We have a fucking soundboard. My life for editing and making this podcast just got infinitely better. We've got some really, again, might be not exciting to you at all, but we've got new sounds.
Dude, I'm like I said, it's a turning point.
For our segments, we will be playing them throughout so you guys can enjoy them and hear them for the first time.
And they really get ingrained in your head, and then like we're kind of like subtly brainwashing you.
So that later when you're just like out and about, you're like,
Yeah, you're like
doing this.
housekeeping.
Speaking of the first one,
Bing bong.
housekeeping. Now I know that sounded like we just
It
did
just
that.
sounded like we just did it. Bing bong.
Housekeeping. But it's an audio.
Housekeeping.
Okay, so this segment, what we always usually do is this is like our catch up. This is our housekeeping. So this is where we're just telling each other anything we need to update each other on that has nothing really to do with the episode thematically. I have got some couple exciting housekeeping things.
Spill them.
We have confident bottom stickers
Oh my God, I saw you designing them and they looked so cute.
and they're holographic.
Well, that's awesome.
You guys, he stopped in his tracks.
Well, holographic, so it shimmers.
yes.
To me, a holographic image is like like it's coming at you.
Oh,
But maybe I have that completely wrong.
this
like a
is just
hologram,
sparkly.
like how they put
It's
like
not
TLC
3D.
together. Okay,
TLC, the band or the channel?
the band, which
Hmm.
is the inspiration for the channel.
Okay.
Speaking of confident bottoms,
Speaking of confident bottoms, I bought them because I wanted to see the quality before they ship them out. So I
Mhm.
think the way we're going to do this is I'm going to receive them. We're going to post about them and they are going to be donation based. So if you
I
want me
love
to
that.
send you one, I'll lick the envelope myself. Maybe I'll have Zach spit in it.
oh, maybe I'll rub my wet butthole on it. my chronically wet
Ew.
stumps doctors.
Who?
Stumps doctors.
What's that?
Like it stumps doctors as to
Oh.
why we are off today.
Doctor stumping,
Oh, sure. Doctor
Okay.
stumping.
but
Wet
wet butthole,
butthole, yeah.
and we'll get you a confident bottom sticker. Also, if you're watching this on youtube.com/Kelsey Darragh, you'll notice we're in a different setup.
And that should be enough for those of you who don't watch it to run to your computer and see like what crazy positions we're in right now.
My legs are behind my head like a pretzel.
Yes. And I am calling the police.
It's just more comfy. We can actually like look at each other now when we're talking. And I think for a lot of you guys one person on my TikTok was like, post more of your podcast on TikTok.
Listen, we will take your demands
Yes.
very seriously.
When the crowd comes knocking, we go a flocking.
Yes. Go a chopping this bitch up.
You will be getting more.
Also,
video.
I'm so curious to try one of the AI editors where it's like, I think you can literally say, give me social media clips under a minute and you can give it keywords that you want. So if you
Yes.
remember we talked about farts, you go 30-second
Farts.
clip farts. And then like it whips up an edited social media clip.
I am all for ethical artificial intelligence when it helps people do their jobs easier.
Yes.
And if it's making more jobs in another way, I don't want everyone to be replaced and I
No.
don't want it to get into the wrong hands.
Well, we will find out very quickly that it is impossible to replace human
nature.
beings with AI because
Well,
it's just recycled information.
But I think the thought is that the world will become less personable. Like people were saying, well, salespeople will never get replaced because you can't beat a friendly hug, a warm handshake. And I'm like, and the guy was saying, well, now the world is just going to expect less.
I personally, like, I'll take buying a car, for example. I detest the human interaction in that situation. I would much rather discuss with a robot and barter with a robot who like has a bottom line and who doesn't play mind games with me.
But also a bottom, like then it'll just become about like, that AI has a bottom line.
Yeah.
And you'd be like, you're relentless. You never let up.
Yeah.
In your negotiations.
I would love that. Because with people, it gets all like, they're like being like charming, but they're not. And they're like, oh, like my boss came back and we got to do the undercoat sealant. So that's going to be another $1,200. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Okay. So we're semi pro AI.
But I do fully think that we will be so embarrassed if AI leads to the destruction of mankind.
Oh, it will.
It is literally the theme of every sci-fi movie from like the 90s.
Here's the thing. My ex, works in AI morality, and the people he works with that are from like MIT that work for the government, they said we've already surpassed it. The lead AI researcher at Google for the last 15 years just quit his job so that he could go and talk about the dangers of AI.
I'm saying I think it could be one of those things like maybe we should shut it down before
it's too late. It's already been plugged in.
Oh.
Well, you can't unplug it.
Really?
We can't destroy it.
Okay, so then, see, I hate this because we're going to look back in 18 years and be like, that we really thought AI was going to be an issue. But that makes it sound like, TikTok, like, some AI is going to be like, I'm going to destroy Russia.
Yeah.
And then it's going to like hack into our nuke codes and like send nuclear weapons that way.
Speaking of housekeeping.
Bing bong.
Housekeeping. The loudest thunder of all fucking time
I saw your
happened
tweet
the other night.
Did
it happen? Did you hear it?
I was in San Jose.
Bitch, when I tell you I shot out of bed at 3:22 in the morning thinking Russia's nuking us.
Whoa.
It shook my house. It shook my windows. Car alarms were going off down the street. Dogs were barking.
Fuck, that's scary. Dude, we don't get thunder and lightning.
We don't. And I'm from Florida.
Dude, you guys get like insane storms.
This scared me more than any thunder I've ever heard. And maybe it's because I was dead asleep.
Yeah, and you're like,
and we're in Los Angeles, but it was like one that was like a fart where it like starts like crack, 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 boom.
And then shit goes everywhere.
Like a rocket.
Wow. So there's nothing I love more than like under the covers, movie on, lightning, thunder outside. But like, to be ripped from your slumber.
Yeah, no, absolutely not.
Sounds horrible. Oh, while we were talking about Confident Bottoms. A handful came to my shows in San Diego and San Jose.
It worked.
And I was just like so overjoyed. One of our Confident Bottoms sat in the front row. Maybe it was with her boyfriend.
Oh my God.
And so like it was just very sweet. So shout out to the Confident Bottoms who came to my shows.
We plugged it being like, oh my God, I hope it works.
See.
And they came.
Someone even in London came.
That was dope.
Yeah.
Shout out to our Londoners because it's our goal to get back out there. And I think we might be able to actually do it later this year in October. Maybe go back to London.
That'd be insanely cool.
Okay, but
bing bong.
Housekeeping. I have something to tell you that has nothing to do with this theme of this episode. This week, I received 2 of the biggest dick pics from 2 separate people I've ever seen in my fucking life.
Wait, you should not have broached this if you weren't going to show me them now.
Well,
I don't how cruel that is.
I do have consent from one of them to show people, but I didn't get consent from other ones.
Are we doing that? Getting consent to show?
Oh yeah, you have to. You can't just be like, check out this dick pic I got.
You think it's an invasion of privacy to show a disembodied dick to someone?
Wait, disembodied? Like, why is the dick off the body?
Well, to me, a dick pic is locally on the dick.
Yeah,
so
but
unless there's an identifying feature, there's no way I can link that to someone.
This person's face is in it.
Oh, okay. Well then, yeah.
So that was insane. It was comical when I say it was well over 11 inches.
What?
Dude, it looks like
That's not safe.
unwell.
That's not safe
Like,
for you.
I was literally showing my girlfriends because I was like, can I please show you? And he kind of like, I think he gets off on it.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, go for it. And all of my girlfriends immediately went, no.
Yeah, no.
Like, absolutely no.
Is it true that girls do not crave length, they crave width?
Correct. Thickness. Girth.
Yeah.
The second person who I didn't get consent from, so I won't show that to you. He had a kink that I had never heard of before.
Wait. Give me a couple hints and I'll try if I can guess it.
Okay. Cell phone.
Okay.
This clue might not make sense. I guess cucking.
Okay. So maybe it's being on FaceTime while you like do something sexual.
He wanted me to call him when I was having sex with someone else.
Audio listen.
Yes, but like keep it secret, which
Okay.
I was like, is that immoral?
Wait. This is the person you're worried about getting consent to show me his dick pic?
Yes.
That's insane. That's insane. He's like giving you proof that he does not care about consent.
Oh, good point. Because he didn't tell me. He wanted to make sure it was secret. He's like, the other guy can't know.
Yeah, there's no ethical or moral way
You're
of doing
right.
that.
And like at first I was like, oh, that's hot. And then the more I thought about it, I was like, that feels invasive. And is that what he's getting off on? Is like knowing the other? Is he getting off on the idea of me getting fucked and he's not there? So it's like a cuck situation. Or is it that he likes knowing the other guy doesn't know?
The third option is you know that everything is being said is being heard by him. So I think that actually makes you more performative with that guy that you're with.
Uh-huh.
Because you're like, oh, he can hear me.
Yeah.
And you're going to be like, oh, I'm going to fucking give him a show.
And it was, I still don't know where I stand on it.
Also, I wouldn't trust that, especially with someone I don't know, because they, for all you know, could be selling audio
Recording
porn or something.
Oh my God, you're so right.
Because that has to be out there. Real life audio of girls getting absolutely slammed.
I hate that. I hate that. Okay.
Also to me, like, again, feels kind of like a victimless crime, but like, obviously I don't want it happening to anyone.
Mhm.
And if it does happen, I want you to be the financial beneficiary
of something like that.
Yeah, but like, obviously I don't want anyone's lines of like privacy to be crossed. Yeah.
Yeah. Now that it feels a little bit more murky, and he was French, and I feel like the language barrier also was like, dude, when I tell you this man is so gorgeous, you're gonna be like, Kelsey, fuck him. But like everything about like his kinks weren't aligned with mine. His French accent, like I couldn't fucking understand what he was saying. When he was like,
yeah. What's the realm in which you met these guys?
Online, and me and him were like having phone sex yesterday,
but haven't met in the flesh.
And like that's why I was kind of like, I kind of just want you to come over and have sex with me, but you want to do all this loop-de-loop-de circus.
So he
games.
Could be a catfish for all we know.
He could. We should FaceTime him right now.
Right. Oh.
See if he
with
answers.
the voice with the voice modifier.
Oh my God, you guys, listen to this.
I could make my voice like this.
Okay, I'm literally getting hard.
Or like this.
And it's soft again.
And here we are. Time to do a podcast.
Brittany, bitch.
I don't know why your
Mine doesn't work.
Doesn't do it. I'm so
Maybe
sorry.
my voice is actually more powerful than the modifier.
It's like we don't understand that pitch.
That's not human.
Do you have any TikTok?
I'm looking at it.
Is it this?
Yeah, I made this recipe.
Okay, why don't you?
This is
while I eat it.
So I think I was gonna say one of the main things I get from TikTok are recipes, but yeah, it's so good, and it's like not a shameful. It was literally one of those like, do you have a sweet tooth but don't want to like ruin your like calorie deficit or something like that? It was like
holy shit,
like a kind of like a fitness girl, I guess, or maybe she wasn't even a fitness girl, but she was just like a treat that won't like throw your entire diet off. And they're cookie dough protein bars.
Oh my God,
dude, everything about them I love. The consistency, the taste,
crunch of the chocolate chip. Because that's what you want when you're craving a sweet, is like a bite.
Oh, you see, that's what you're craving.
Yes, right now.
I love cookie dough because it's sweet and salty. But and this is dark. So the recipe is you blend 2 cups of oats,
Mhm.
turning it into oat flour.
Amazing.
Then you add peanut butter, maple syrup, a pinch of salt, splash of vanilla, and then you just keep adding dashes of milk until it's a dough, like until it's dough consistency. And you fold in chocolate chips. I did dark chocolate, and then you press it into like an 8x8 pan, and then you let it set in the fridge.
Oh,
And
it's
then
no bake?
no bake.
Oh,
And then you melt dark chocolate and a little bit of coconut oil. I should have used refined because you can. Did you taste coconut?
no.
Okay. You can. I could kind of taste it,
If
but I think I knew it.
love it.
Oh,
I
okay.
love a coconut
So
flavor.
a little bit of coconut oil, dark chocolate, melt that, pour it over, and you kind of get to do that. Oh, it's so satisfying. Where you tilt the pan around and it like covers, and then you do little flakes of salt on top, back in the fridge. And I made those 2 days ago, and
Oh
I've
my
just
God.
been I've just been cutting squares out.
Can I pay you to make me a batch?
Yes.
This is incredible. That is one of the most glorious.
TikTok, right? Oh yeah. So it's basically it's one of those things where it's like no refined sugars. It's like 100% maple syrup, fresh peanut butter, like all these good things.
And that's no butter and
No butter, no.
sugar. Just maple syrup.
Yeah,
And,
maple syrup
and
and
dark chocolate chips.
yeah. But we don't. I love it because I do not shame myself for like peanut butter is like high calorie, but it's not. It's like a natural.
Can I tell you what is gonna even lift your load a little bit more, and you might want to do a batch with it? Cookie butter has the same amount of sugar as peanut butter.
I think you were high when you heard
Nope,
that.
I don't smoke drugs.
Okay, well, you shoved a pill up your puss because cookie butter has the same what?
Amount of sugar as peanut butter.
Oh, that could be. But it's like cookie butter is like not made from nuts.
Yeah, but I don't think it's as bad.
As we think it is.
Mm-hmm. From Trader Joe's.
I mean, that would definitely like
Don't Google it. We got to use it.
That is so funny.
Don't Google it. But I think cookie butter is as healthy as peanut butter.
Hit it again.
Don't Google it. I also like how it's just a little bit like tinny on the sound. Like it's us really yelling.
Don't Google it. It's perfect.
Oh my God, Zachary, do you have any more housekeeping TikTok top me's or anything?
Probably. I had a really good show in San Diego and San Jose. I said that already. I'm going to San Diego tonight for 2 more shows.
Oh my God,
It's kind
tonight?
of last minute. Yeah, another
Holy
comic
shit.
strike. This comic had a cancellation, and he was like, "Are you down?" I was like, "I'm available, but honestly, I just got back from driving from San Jose. It's a 5-hour drive."
Oy.
I was like, "So if someone else drives, I'm down." So they're gonna
Hell yeah.
take me,
Hell yeah.
which feels
Will
very.
you come back tonight?
Yeah.
Oh, great.
I know.
Um,
I think that's it. Oh,
okay.
a great scary TV show.
Oh, we got to get like a recommendation button.
Oh yeah, like yeah. What would it be even?
Guys,
Like,
give us a segment name for recommendations.
yeah. Okay. It's called From.
I keep seeing the posters.
The
and they're
posters-
fucking scary.
See, I think the posters actually look very dumb.
No, they
And
scare the shit out of me.
It's like literally someone screaming and like someone behind a window.
a freakish white kid, a pale ginger.
Yes. Okay, that part is scary. It just looks so campy, and it's actually not campy. It's a horror show, and the basic synopsis is all these random people have gotten stuck in this town that doesn't have like an exit to it. Like if you leave town, you just show right back up in town.
Yikes.
And at night, these people come out of the woods and absolutely tear you apart. And their whole thing is like, if they can get you out of your house, that's when they kill you. So they'll show up as people you know at the window and be like, "It's grandma. Come
Shut
open the window,
up.
Megan." But when I tell you it's so gory, like they rip these people to shreds.
It's on what? AMC?
on Prime. That's where I'm watching
Yike.
it.
You love a horror film.
I
do
love
not.
it's a horror TV show, and it's season 2 just started airing, so I'm watching season 1 right now. That's it.
Okay, cool. Should we get into this week's episode topic? I'm actually
Yes.
really excited about this.
I think I am too. It'll feel very cleansing, I think, to talk about.
But before we do, let's go to an ad break. And we're back. What an ad.
Wait, is that okay that is that the coming back sound?
No, that's the going away sound.
You like spoke over it.
That's okay.
Okay.
When I insert the ads, I'll make sure it doesn't hit my voice.
Okay. Just looking up for my number one girl.
I appreciate you.
Yeah.
So sorry. Guys, we're talking about jealousy. That wasn't a button. That was us just talking at the same time.
Is envy the same thing?
Why would you do that to me?
Sorry.
Don't Google it. I have no idea.
Well, I just hear like green with jealousy, right? Isn't that the phrase?
I think envy and jealousy are the same thing.
Don't Google it.
Um,
We both say it with it. It's 4 of us.
That's too many of us. We could do one or the other, not both at the same time. What are your experiences or your biggest feelings of jealousy you've ever had with your life? Like, does something immediately come to mind? Because we've never done an episode specifically on jealousy, which is what I'm like really excited about.
I'm also realizing too, like, we're kind of a self-help podcast. Which I love. That's what I was going to follow it up with.
Yeah, this is like definitely a mental health society and culture.
And I'm going to go out on a limb and say it's the funniest one out there. What? Okay, take it back.
I'm not gonna lie, I thought that was applause.
I was gonna say it didn't make sense at all.
I'm here for it.
Okay, so jealousy. The first thing that comes to mind is when I was a little scared queer boy. Wow, hilarious, Kelsey.
The way you said little
scared queer boy in St. Louis, Missouri. I was so jealous of girls who got to play with Barbies and like lean into femininity and like be happy and joyous because like those were labeled as like gay. You know what I mean? Like if a boy had those traits, he was gay. And I was gay, but I was scared to be gay. I don't want to be different. So I was so jealous of girls.
Yeah.
Because they got to be well, and the thing is, girls were probably also pretending to an extent. The girls who didn't want to be Barbie girls and stuff like that.
Right.
So, like, was anyone happy back then? But I was just like, I'm gonna stop listening to the podcast if you keep doing that.
Sorry. Today's day one. Okay, just let me get it out of my system.
True. But yeah, girls are the first one, and then like to jump to today. I thought you were about to hit it again. I was literally about to like reach across the thing.
I was just scooting it closer.
Now, the thing I fall into and the thing I have to constantly remind myself is that there is no happiness in me comparing myself to others. And that to me is jealousy, where I'm cherry picking things about people that they have or that they were born with and being sad that I don't have those things
jealousy
or those traits.
Is the thief of happiness.
Yes. So like, obviously I feel there's comedian, I'll just say Taylor Tomlinson. She's a friend and a wildly successful comic. She's 29 and she's about to film her 3rd hour for Netflix.
Crazy.
And it's just like, the automatic thing is like, oh, I'm jealous. But then I'm like, wait, no, first of all, someone said this a while ago, Amy Poehler, I think. You can't be jealous of just one thing. You have to be jealous of their whole existence. Because if you cherry pick, it literally will drive you insane.
You could do it for everything and everybody.
Yeah. Taylor grew up with a lot of like religious trauma and like I feel like she said her dad hasn't even watched her specials. Like, you know what I mean? Like she has a different life. Like she had a different life to get where she was. And like, there's nothing for me in comparing myself to her story.
That is like one of those mind-blowing tidbits that will stay with me forever. Because I think it was also Amy Poehler or it was either her or Tina Fey that said, good for her, not for me.
Yeah.
That was like the same thing of like also being like, that's amazing for her.
Yeah.
It's not for me.
It's not, obviously.
I can be so amazed for her.
Yes.
And that has nothing to do with me. But like, what you just said will blow my mind forever is that you have to be jealous of the whole thing. Because I'll never forget when I was in a cab with Quinta Brunson from BuzzFeed Days and she was showing me her friend and I just like, I was jet lagged. I looked like ass and I was just like, that girl is so pretty. Like she must have no problems in her life. Like how lucky is she?
That
like
is
to be that hot in this world.
A huge trap.
And Quinta was like, you don't know what her problems are.
Exactly.
Like, of course she has problems. It's all relative. Like just because she's this pretty doesn't mean doesn't experience pain and trauma and like find something to be upset about. And that's the same onus as like, oh my God, you have to be jealous of the whole thing. And you don't know.
You don't know. And there are two things you just said there that spawn. One is, I think we do this to hot people a lot, is that we assume that their life is perfect because they're so hot. Trust me when I say hot people never know if someone's just being kind to them to be kind, or if they're trying to fucking literally fuck them. Like we don't know what it's like to be. Well, we do a little bit. No, but you
I was like, be careful where you're.
I know, no, I know. But
we are fucking ugly.
I'm just saying, like you were saying, there's a girl that you deemed hotter than you.
Yeah.
Also, like hot to someone, not hot to another person.
Wherever there's a hot person, I'll show you someone that's tired of fucking them.
Yep, that's an iconic quote from a misogynist.
A little mean, but I'm saying,
but it's true. It's just accurate. And then, oh fuck, I lost the other one.
You might find it. Oh, here it is.
Pain is like a gas. A small amount can fill a room. So like, okay, it's not a fart, and if you touch that soundboard, I'm taking it away.
I'm not going to.
But all to say, like a little bit of gas fills the room. So it's just like their problems still feel monumental to them because if they're not happy with something, that unhappiness often takes over.
It will fill the biggest part of your mind because it's still pain.
Like, do you remember, can you think of something that literally drove you insane or
yes,
but now it doesn't
all the time.
Now it doesn't you can't even like
I can't even find that feeling anymore. Yeah.
So anyway, hot people suck.
Yeah. When I think of jealousy, it really, for me, that I can remember that like painful jealousy started in high school with, similar to you, people that were out, which for me, it was girls that were able to be like this beautiful mix of queer, masculine, and feminine, and like people liked them. And I was just like, even still today, I'm like, I have this fear that I'm too masculine sometimes. And so I was so focused on femininity in high school. And this is so embarrassing to admit.
Can't wait.
My first boyfriend in high school was always hanging around this girl who we were all kind of starting to become friends with. She went to a different high school. So we would like go to her house or her apartment to party or something. She had an apartment.
Her own?
In high school. It was weird. And she was gorgeous, funny, cute, like outgoing. And they got really close. And I remember being so fucking jealous of her and being so fearful of like, what does she have that I don't? And Zachary, when I tell you, I had just gotten a guitar in high school.
And you hit her with it? Okay. No. Okay.
I wrote a fucking song and like called her and was like, hey.
Can I sing you a song?
Yes.
Oh, Kelsey.
And I was like earnestly singing to her, and she was so nice about it. And like, I couldn't remember any of it for the life of me now.
Oh, it's in there somewhere.
But it was very Taylor Swift, strumming like 4 chords and singing, why does she have something I don't? And she's got something I don't.
Wait, how did you preface this? Like, I've been feeling like,
yes,
you are something to my boyfriend that I'll never be.
And like, little
she
did I know,
wears short skirts, I wear t-shirts.
Correct.
Or whatever.
She's cheer captain, I'm on the bleachers.
Yeah.
And little did I know later, he did cheat on me with her. But at the time, I didn't know that. And
no,
I feel like
it sounds like you did.
It seems like I knew it was coming. And I'll never forget, she was so nice to me about it. She was like, wow, that was really good. You're so talented. And then she went and told all these girls, like, so she sang me a song.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. That is the agreement. That you do something weird, you're gonna get.
Oh my God.
You're gonna get talked about.
I like literally have never told this story because it's so embarrassing. But that's what jealousy does to you. But I want to tell you a little bit behind the science of jealousy, Zachary, because it's a complex emotion. It involves feelings of insecurity, fear, anger, anxiety, and or resentment. Researchers define jealousy as a threat to relationships that come from some sort of external source, usually. It can be directed at almost anything, real or perceived. So you could like make up an entire story in your head and create jealousy.
Oh, we love stories.
We love to do that. It is mostly being made up by a series of negative emotions around anger, sadness, and fear. And what we know, though, about this is that it is an important function in terms of protecting the self. And in instances of romantic or friendship jealousy, it's your brain trying to protect the relationship, but giving it out the wrong way. So there,
okay.
yeah. So like basically being like,
It's like I want to preserve this.
I'm trying to protect, but
and
my
this is
brain,
a red flag, or this is like a yellow
yes,
flag.
I'm perceiving this as a threat, even though it might not actually be.
Sure.
You have to take a moment to go, this is my brain trying to protect. It's making me feel threatened for some reason.
Sure.
And again, this also, I should caveat and like little asterisk to say this does not apply to abusive relationships, obviously, because people that gaslight, that intentionally abuse emotionally or physically, like obviously we're not talking about this. This is if you're like in a standard neutral healthy relationship.
Sure. Or you, and like jealousy flares up.
Yes, which it does for everybody. Even I, in a open, ethically non-monogamous poly situation, can experience jealousy. According to scientists, there are 7 different types of jealousy. So there is romantic.
Wait. Let me guess them.
Okay.
Romantic, platonic, work-based, like peer.
I don't really know how to. I don't know how.
I guess I shouldn't have guessed them. You can
Yeah,
just
bad
tell.
idea. Okay, so there's romantic jealousy that feel like threats to romantic relationships. Rational and reactive jealousy.
Is that the same one?
No, this is based on something concrete, such
But
as
rational reactive, is that the same?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Sorry. So that is based on something that's actually concrete with some sort of evidence, right? So
like
jealousy
you got
about
something I didn't.
Yes, or like I saw text messages of that girl saying, "I want to fuck you," and now I feel jealous because she said that to you,
and you know it,
and it's
you
concrete.
didn't tell me.
There's familial jealousy, which is based on family bonds. For example, it can come up when one sibling feels like the other is getting more attention.
Or if someone's left more money to someone than someone else.
Ooh, there's sexual and suspicious jealousy based on fears that partners have cheated or engaged in inappropriate communication. There's power jealousy. So that one is work in relation to your career. Retroactive jealousy.
Resentment.
Which is a preoccupation with a partner's past. So it can be
that feels so fucked up.
It could be their previous relationship.
I'm jealous of how you treated your last girlfriend.
Or the behaviors that they engaged in during those relationships. And then pathological jealousy based on irrationality and likely comes with a comorbid mental health diagnosis.
I have no idea what comorbid means.
Comorbid means it's existing at the same time. So like comorbidities is like someone with diabetes and comorbidities, which means like they have diabetes and high cholesterol and heart palpitations, or
so it's like intersectionality with ailments.
Don't Google it. So
that was an appropriate time for that, and enough time had passed since the last one.
Thank you.
So you're already getting really good at it.
Thank you.
God, Leo's cuddling with me.
Yes, he is. I thought this part was really interesting. You know, I love the science behind an emotion and a feeling because it helps me understand it better.
Yeah, that's so weird.
Let's break it down.
I just like to let my feelings fly.
Yeah, you're just like all emotion.
Yeah.
No time to sit back and break it down.
You've set it free.
See, I see this
like
as
a dog
like
on the prairie.
Like I could only think of poop when you say that. I see this as a time to like, I was never good at math. So I like taking this and breaking it out like on a piece of paper, like an equation.
Oh, it's so important to write down your thoughts and issues.
I do thought cycles on a piece of paper.
Yes.
And like, this is just another.
Because you're like, why?
Yes.
Why?
Exactly.
Why?
Exactly.
Why? And then at the end, you're like, oh, wow.
Yes.
Because I'm afraid of this thing because of this crazy other thing.
Yes. So we're going to break down the equation of jealousy. So jealousy is not a chemical reaction that occurs in the brain. It is a complex emotion that arises from a combination of thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. However, research has shown that jealousy can be associated with changes in levels of certain neurotransmitter in the brain, such as dopamine, serotonin, and oxytocin. Dopamine is a neurotransmitter that is associated with pleasure and reward. A lot of people think of that as like serotonin, but that's actually dopamine. Studies have shown that people who are prone to jealousy may have higher levels of dopamine in their brain, which can lead to increased sensitivity to rewards and the perception of threats to their relationships. So if you are someone that experiences pleasure really easily with rewards, so like if I do this, I'll have that piece of cake,
Right.
or like if I, you know, if I do a good job on my test, I'm going to be high all day for the rest of my day. You might actually be prone to experiencing jealousy more than a person with less dopamine, because your brain has increased sensitivity to a reward system.
So you see someone getting something and you know what that feels like. And you're like, oh,
No, it's that you feel a reward when you feel a jealousy feeling.
ew.
Yes. So it's not necessarily, doesn't make sense, but your brain's going, this is a moment that you're tapping into an increase in dopamine. So yes, this feels good to you to feel a little jealous.
I'm just finding out now, I guess, that dopamine can fuel negative feelings.
Yes. Well, that's drug addiction.
yeah.
Even though it's ruining your life, you're addicted to this feeling of
yeah.
something negative. So then serotonin, another neurotransmitter that is involved in regulating mood, and research has suggested that low levels of serotonin might be associated with increased feelings of jealousy. That's because serotonin helps us to regulate impulsive behavior and emotional responses. And when levels are low, individuals may be more likely to experience these intense emotional reactions, such as jealousy.
Cut to Kelsey doing an ice bath every day.
And that's training me not to feel that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It levels out your serotonin.
I dead ass think that like I've become a better person all around because I've been chilling out my fucking
Listen, I
nervous
know
system.
the world is a better place when you are submerged in that water for 3 minutes at a
You
time.
know I'm not cussing someone
yeah, I'm
out.
like, we're all safe right now.
Yeah, for these 3 minutes, everyone in their home just gets a chill of like comfort.
I can go outside.
Okay, and then finally, oxytocin is a hormone that is involved in social bonding and trust. And research has suggested that it may play a role in the experience of jealousy as well. Studies have shown that higher levels of oxytocin are associated with greater trust in romantic relationships, and lower levels of oxytocin may be associated with increased feelings of jealousy and suspicion. So, all of that to say, if you find yourself being someone who freaks out when your boyfriend likes another girl's Instagram photo or starts following a fucking IG model or talks to the waiter in a cute way, or your girlfriend at the gym is flirting with that dude, whatever, you need to reset your motherfucking nervous system.
Wow.
If you're finding yourself easily, constantly, and consistently flying off the handle with relational jealousy, baby, get in an ice bath.
We have a mutual friend who is dealing with this right now.
Oh,
Don't say
really?
it.
I have no idea who you're talking about.
Okay, great. And their partner is so easily triggered. So easily triggered
By every little thing.
every little thing.
You need to be resetting that nervous system.
Also, like on my personal journey, like I like to think about other people as little as possible. I mean that in a healthy way.
I know you didn't mean it as a joke, but you sitting there stroking the cat like an evil villain, being like, I like to think of people as little as possible. It was very funny.
But it's just like, I don't like, because it doesn't also come down to like, if you trust
yes,
your person, you aren't as easily triggered. You're like,
So-
I just trust that, like, yeah, they like that message from that person, but they're not doing anything. They're just placating that person or whatever.
That is 100% like to me a pillar of foundation in experiencing jealousy less. However, that does feel like a lot of someone else's thing. Like a lot of people like to blame jealousy on someone else's actions. Well, if you just respected that my boundary to do this, then blah, 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 blah. Well, you keep doing this. And it's like, I go back to my fucking favorite saying that I learned during my breakup. I am only responsible for my own emotions.
Yeah.
So if I'm feeling jealousy, how can I communicate to the other person in a way that doesn't worsen the problem that I am feeling jealous? And hey, I need some words of affirmation. Hey, I'm having a little jelly moment. can I explain to you why? And maybe you can calm my nerves a little bit with me. Hey, will you do some breath work with me?
So
Like,
you
it
keep
is
it on you.
Yes, keep it on you. Again, this does not apply to abusive or toxic relationships, but this is a step that you can take in towards of changing your relationship if you're finding yourself feeling these little moments.
Yeah, and if you're in an abusive relationship, the best thing you can do is find a friend and murder the person.
Yeah, pay them.
That's
To
for
murder.
sure our stance on it. That's the sound of the police coming. to
That's
get
the
you.
sound of the police. Okay, so there is a book that I think I probably recommended a bunch because I was just finishing rereading it, called The Ethical Slut,
Oh yes, great
which
book.
is so fucking good for anyone that has questions about open
Navigating,
relationships
yeah.
and dating multiple people, but is always afraid of the number one thing I get is experiences with jealousy. I could never let my partner do this. I'm just so fearful that I would be jealous. Da 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 da. Well, chapter 13 is going to be your favorite chapter because it is all about teaching you how to rewire your brain to think about jealousy. So I have some steps for
From
if you're
the
feeling
book?
a little jelly. Yes.
Should you say who the book is from? Made by?
2 women
Okay.
who are lovers and co-authors.
I love
Yeah.
2 women.
The first step is to acknowledge and accept one's feelings of jealousy rather than trying to suppress or
it.
deny them.
Yeah.
So just notice it and go, you know that fucking feeling, bitch. You know that gurgly, tummy tightening feeling when you go, oh my God, is she prettier?
There's also a thing of like, that's with anything. It's like how you should see your thoughts as clouds passing in the sky, like, or the weather. Like, yeah, the weather is happening. I can't control it. I'm just watching it change. So,
and it's hard when you feel it in your body.
Of course.
Because that makes it feel more real.
Of course.
Instead of a thought that's like, I want a cookie.
Well, yes, which is actually my constant inner monologue. But that whole like it brings you into the present in the worst way possible, and it makes you feel like you're going to feel like that forever.
And it's hard work. It's so much easier to just feel jealous, which we've talked about before. It's so much easier to just go, I don't know, this is just my brain just does this. I don't know. I don't have any control.
This is just how I am. It's like,
no,
that's
bitch.
not acceptable.
That's not acceptable. Not with the resources we have today.
No, I love the concept of gaining control over my emotions.
God, I need it.
Obsessed.
Love. The second step is to identify the root causes of jealousy, such as insecurity or an unmet need. So going back to what you were saying, Zach, of like, yeah, but shouldn't the other person, like, shouldn't you trust them and feel that? It's like, yes, okay. So where are we on the scale of trust? You're not going to be able to stop hating the fact that your boyfriend likes another girl's Instagram photo if you don't get back to the root problem, which is that you do not feel safe in the relationship.
Yep.
And that might not be your own fault. It might be someone else's actions and doing, but you've also got to take responsibility for that need being unmet and vocalizing it. That is your job.
Absolutely. And also like take inventory of like, there are probably hot guys liking your shit. So it's just like, yeah, we both experienced this. Yes. I'm the one taking it to a negative place.
Even the most fucking seasoned veterans of open relationships and non-monogamy experience jealousy. They are just masters of correcting their emotions.
It's scary, I think, once you've built a life with someone and then like, oh, like, yeah, someone could come along that is a better fit for them or someone that they like that you don't see it. And it's like, yeah, there's going to be these like pitfalls.
I have said this from day one. I had to accept that there are going to be bitches hotter than me that Jared was sleeping with. And that's just like,
I don't
again,
think so, though.
Hotness is subjective. You didn't get to see all of them. And like, that doesn't mean just because they are what I perceive to be as like socially hotter than me does not make him love me any less.
Totally.
The third step is
there's enough DJ dick to go around.
I never need another DJ. I swipe left on all of them on these dating apps. The third step is to communicate openly and honestly with one's partners about the jealousy while taking responsibility for one's own emotions.
That's the thing. And that's the thing with the mutual friend. Like this mutual friend would see, or the partner would see the thing and like fly off the handle.
Ooh.
And it's like, no. there are so many steps
that you're
between
skipping.
getting this upset.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, let's talk about it, because you're the one feeling this way.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not feeling this way.
And I this was another tidbit from therapy that I learned that stuck with me forever, is like, as a partner, my job is to know their hard edges and soft spots and protect them. If I know that this action or thing is going to maybe crack into that person's like sadness or isolation.
Like going on a date on Sunday night when you think you're going to curl up and watch TV shows
what
together.
Can I do to reassure that person that, hey, why don't we grab breakfast Monday morning?
Yeah.
Or, hey, can we go get like cuddle on Sunday morning instead? Like, that's my job as a partner, is to be like, I'm thinking about you in a way that I don't have to do this thing. But if I want to keep you feeling secure and feel a secure attachment, I should do these things.
And that's the thing too. And that's why I feel like I oversimplify relationships, but also having been the ear that listens to a lot of friends deal with these things, I'm just like, listen, it sounds like you are prepared to give a lot more than this person is. And it's just like, you need to, this is why I do inventories constantly. Like, are my needs being met? Am I vocalizing these needs? Have I had to say this like more than once? And it's like, listen, like, and I told the guy once, I was like, I'm going to stick it out as long as I can, but right now I'm having an issue with blank.
And I think like something I've heard recently from friends, because I'm doing the same thing where I'm like, God, I just got out of my fucking shit. Now I'm like, oh, now I can help other people.
Yeah.
Is I'm hearing someone use like therapeutic language to justify their jealousy of being like, I'm deserving of setting this boundary. And it's like, yeah, you totally are. And it's 100% the other person's right to not accept that boundary. And you guys don't have to be in a relationship.
Yeah. And you guys go your separate ways.
But knowing that that's what the boundary you're putting up is the unwillingness to work through the feeling of insecurity, that's, you have to accept that.
Yeah. It's like, if you put up, it's like putting up traffic cones versus putting up like a steel bar that will keep a car from going. It's like, can you move the traffic cones? Or like, is this a dead end?
Yeah. Are you going to crash and die?
Yeah.
The fourth step is to work together with one's partner to find solutions and address the underlying causes of the jealousy, such as through setting boundaries and or seeking reassurance. So exactly kind of what we talked about is, once you can like approach your partner, and this is actually something I experienced with Sir, is I was like, hey, through this book, I learned about this thing called like having a jelly moment with your partner, of being like, hey, I just want to, can I have a jelly moment to just like kind of spew and say like some of the things that like, oh, my tummy gets tight of when I think about this, that, and this. And he said, well, isn't that something that you could talk to like Zach about, or your therapist or your sister? And I went, the fuck? No, I want to talk about it with you. I should be able to talk about it with you. And it wasn't that he didn't want me to be able to have someone to talk to about it. It was that he was worried his reaction was then going to be, well, I don't want to hurt you, so I'm just not going to do it. Forget about it. Like, I don't want you to feel uncomfortable, so it's better if we just don't.
Oh, and was he saying like you wanted, he wanted to be the last line of defense? Like he wanted you to talk things out first?
Yeah, kind of. And like, if I went and talked to you about it, and my therapist and my friends, and then I was still like, hey,
we need to talk.
This is obviously a problem if I've done these steps.
Yeah.
That's when I think he would want to hear about it, versus like, if I'm vocalizing, oh, I just feel a little jealous that she's prettier than me. He could go, no, I'm obsessed with you. You're like the prettiest person ever. It's like, that's fine. That's easy.
Yeah.
But he was worried that he himself wouldn't be able to go, I can't stand the thought of hurting you. Like, that kills me. So I'd rather just not do it. So even I had to go, oh, wow, that was a way I hadn't thought about it.
Sure.
So there's like compromise and there's fluctuation with that.
Also, I will say, because it sounds like that's like kind of I think everyone in a relationship should do like relationship check-ins.
Ooh.
Like minimum every 6 months.
Love.
And if that scares you, I think that's a big red flag.
100%. And again, I can't recommend The Ethical Slut enough. And then before we wrap up, we actually have a write-in question about jealousy. So I figured we could
read it in a different voice though.
Oh my God. I thought you would never fucking ask.
Okay, so Hey guys, so I have been in a straight relationship with this guy. He's 23, I'm 26, for about 2 years now. He told me about a year ago he wants to sleep with other people. Sorry.
I'm laughing because Zach's laughing. Is it the voice?
Yes, it's so funny to
Okay.
me. Oh, my God.
Unfortunately, I am a bit of a jealous type. The idea of him pleasing other women makes my stomach turn. The only reason I feel, quote, bad about saying no, is that he's had very, very little sexual experience, where I have a ton. I had a whole phase in college, and he never went to college. I care about him a lot, so I understand his desire and want to make him happy. And I wanted to see if y'all had any advice, since y'all are two very open-minded people. Edit. We've already tried a threesome. Didn't work. I kind of broke down watching him have sex with another woman right in front of me, and will try swinging soon to see if me having a partner at the same time helps distract my brain. It might just be my insecurity keeping me from letting him have a good time. We will also be trying to bring a penis owner into bed with us as per his request.
I love that.
Oh my God.
That
That
was
was
so
the
fun.
best. That was the best possible ending.
Yeah.
Because I love hearing that he is open to a penis owner.
Because he's like, bitch, you deserve some opposite sex
Or
stuff
maybe
too.
he wants
I love
some
that.
same-sex stuff.
I am so glad we got this question, because it literally just goes back to the mapping of all the things we talked about. So
Yeah.
it's like seeing you break down, or knowing that you break down seeing him please another woman. Let's go to the root of that.
Yeah.
Where's the insecurity there? What can you ask from him and of yourself to make you feel more secure in that?
I feel like so much of jealousy, especially in this issue where it's like, oh, he's pleasing this other woman. It's a scarcity mentality.
Bitch, I wrote that motherfucking down.
I mean,
There is an idea that him giving means you get less.
yeah. And it's just not, it's literally
Not true.
almost never true.
And scarcity mindset, we are built in with it and we don't even realize it, because we're shoved
survival.
monogamy
Oh.
down our throats.
Sure.
Yeah, and survival, and that this person is mine, I am theirs. But imagine being able to say, good for her, not for me.
Totally.
And you're so right with the scarcity mindset thing. It's like freakishly. And it reminds me also too about this amazing word that I learned when I first started ENM, is compersion, which is happiness for the other person. So being like, instead of breaking down, you're centering yourself very much in that, which is totally fine. I completely get that innate reaction. But what if you went, I am so happy for him that he is getting to finally experience this moment.
And how lucky is this girl? Because I know how great he is.
Yes.
And like, also, it's called mudita in a different.
That's correct.
Yeah. Experiencing pleasure and the joy and success of others.
Yes.
I also like for me, like, and it's so interesting to say this as someone who grew up Catholic and refused to believe in God, but like I do have overarching faith in the realm of like either you're learning something or you're like, no, you're always learning something, basically.
Yeah.
Events aren't good or bad. So like you have to exercise the thought that your loved one, the worst thing could happen
Sure.
to you.
Sure.
In your mind, the worst thing could be that this guy falls in love with me when you bring me into the bedroom. And that could happen. But also, like, you have to just trust that, like, if that happens, then it wasn't meant for
God, yes.
you. And there really is so much solace in that, because it's just like, I can't change these facts. Like nothing.
And aren't you glad you would figure that out?
Yes,
now,
the sooner the better.
Because knowing that that's always going to be in the back of your
Yep.
mind would drive me fucking crazy.
And that's why, like, that to go even deeper, self-love is so important. Because the only long-term monogamous relationship you will for sure have till the day you die is with yourself.
That was beautiful.
You know? You know? You are your ride or die. So it's just like, and I always reframe things too with that because it's like I don't experience jealousy because I know how cool I am.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, these guys are so lucky. I'm giving them a chance at dating.
Zachary, that's all we have for this week.
Okay.
Can you believe
I loved it.
we did a whole episode with our new soundboard?
Yeah, I'm thrilled for us as a team.
Confidants, if you liked this, please tell us.
Rate and review it. Well, maybe we'll start reading reviews
Ooh.
on I like that in other podcasts.
That's funny because we could talk about some ones that are not so good.
Yeah. Well, maybe not those.
Dig inside ourselves deep and face the facts.
Rate 5 stars. If you're not going to rate 5 stars,
please don't rate this at
stop
all.
listening, in fact.
Honestly, what are you doing here? Yeah. That's it for this week, Confidants. We will see you next week. Bye.
Was that like the most fun thing for you?